High Five Yoga. I invite you to take a good sitting position. Press your sit bones into the floor and sit tall. Bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Turn your attention inwards and bring your awareness to your breath. Land on your mat and put down the day. And as you observe your breath moving in and out of your body, see if you can make the exhalation slightly longer than the inhalation. And as usual, we open with 3 ohms. Exhale, inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Open your eyes, release your hands, and for my word of the day today, I have a small poem. So we've all just got news that we're probably heading into another lockdown, and certainly some of us have already stopped. And so there's a kind of a feeling of anxiety and fear abroad amongst us and amongst people in general. So I just want to read you this poem. It's from Wendell Berry, and it's called I Go Among Trees and Sit Still. I go among trees and sit still. All my stirring becomes quiet around me, like circles on water. My tasks lie in their place where I left them, asleep like cattle. Then, what is afraid of me comes and lives a while in my sight. What it fears in me leaves me, and the fear of me leaves it. It sings, and I hear its song. Then, what I am afraid of comes. I live for a while in its sight. What I fear in it leaves it, and the fear of it leaves me. It sings, and I hear its song. After days of labour, mute in my consternations, I hear my song at last, and I sing it. As we sing, the day turns, the trees move. So let's bring that into our practice and into our life. So taking a good sitting position, we're going to start with a little bit of breathing. Bring the hands just to the top of your chest so the tips of your fingers are touching. Exhale completely. And as you inhale, see if your fingers move away from each other by the power of your breath. So exhale and then inhale and exhale. So focusing on bringing the breath into the top of the chest. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, and twice more. And return to normal breath. Slide your hands down the sides of your body and place them just below, on your ribs. If you wore a bikini, it would be just below your bikini. So exhale completely so that your fingers are touching. And as you inhale, invite your fingers to move apart with the power of your breath. So breathing into the sides of your rib cage. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And do that twice more. Making your exhalation longer than your inhalation. Return to normal breathing and slip your hands down to the lower part of your abdominal area. Just above, the tips of your fingers are just on your pubic bone, and your thumbs are together and pointing towards your navel area. So sitting straight again, exhale completely. And as you inhale, breathe into this part of your lower abdominal area. And breathe out. Focusing on that area only. As you breathe in, it fills up like a balloon, and as you breathe out, it empties back towards your spinal column. And again. And breathe out. And twice more. And return to normal breathing. Place your hands on your knees and just take 3 or 4 normal breaths. And now we'll just try a full body breath. Place your hands low down on your abdominal area once more. Exhale completely and breathe in into that area very lightly for the count of 1, 2. So inhale, 1, 2. Keeping your breath in. See if you can inhale and make your ribs even wider. 1, 2. And then breath in again. Breathe into your upper chest. 2. And then a long swooping breath out from your belly all the way up out through your lungs. We'll try that again. Place your hand on your lower abdomen. Exhale completely. Inhale, just sip it in. 1, 2. Move up to your ribs. 1, 2. Upper chest. 1, 2, and then a long swooping breath out. Last time. Breathe in. 1, 2. Ribs. 1, 2. Upper chest. 1, 2. And a long slow breath out. Place your hands and return to normal breathing. Take 3 breaths. Just focusing on your breath. Alright, and if you wish to change position, if you wish to sit with the leg out in front, or if perhaps you want to sit on a chair for the next couple of minutes, we'll do a couple of upper body movements. So bring your sitting straight again, allow your right ear to come to your right shoulder, and then inhale and exhale and bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Gaze out in front, inhale back up, exhale to your right shoulder. Just feel how good that feels. Inhale back up and exhale out to your left shoulder. Once again. Moving with your breath. Your body follows your breath. And moving back to center. This time we bring our chin to our chest. Exhale. And then inhale and lift your eyes and look up at the ceiling. Exhale. Head back to center. Inhale, lift your head, look up. Don't do it quickly, moving slowly. Exhale back to center. And again. Exhale back to center. And do that twice more. And come back to center. And now moving a little bit with our arms. Inhale, our arms up and bring your hands together. And then exhale and turn to the left and place your right hand on your left knee and your left hand behind you. Look back over your shoulders. Sit tall, exhaling and inhaling. Roll your left shoulder back, your left ribs back. Inhale, stretch up, sitting tall. Exhale, twisting and opening even more. Be attentive to what's going on in your internal organs on the right hand side of your body and see if you can shift those towards the left as well. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, twist even more. And twice more. Inhale back to center. Lift your arms up. Stretch them up. Inhale and turn to your right. Place your left hand on your right knee. Place your right hand behind you. Press down into your sit bones. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, roll your right shoulder back, your right ribs back. Look back over your right shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, stretch up again. Sitting tall. Pressing your sit bones into the floor or seat. Exhale, release. And once more. Inhale, up. Exhale and release. And inhale and back to center. Fantastic. And now we're just moving into a few shoulder rolls. Inhale, reach your shoulders up, roll them forward. Exhale and release them. Practicing a little bit of your Ujjayi breathing, which is that little inner rasping hiss of your throat, almost as if you were trying to blow on a piece of glass, but you do it with your mouth closed. And if there was anyone in the room, they would hardly be able to hear you. So I'm exaggerating it here so you can hear it. So 5 forward rolls in one direction with the shoulders, and then 5 going the other direction. Coming back to neutral, arms by your sides. Lift your right arm and bring it to the opposite side of your face. Bring it over the top of your head so that your fingers are pointing down the side of your face. And just draw your head towards your arm, sitting tall. Welcoming everything that arises. Rising out of awareness, sinking back into awareness. Inhale, release that arm and lift the other arm up. Place it and just draw your ear towards your arm, sit tall. Just feel nice, gentle pressure on the side of your head. And release your arm. And then placing your hands on your hips, you're going to move in circles, so around in, I always get this mixed up, choose one direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Inhale, exhale as you lean forward. Inhale, stretch up, moving with your breath. Nice long rolling forward, keep your hands on your hips, squeeze your elbows back behind you. Feels really nice in your lower back. And as I say, this can be done sitting on a chair if you need to, or sitting with both legs out in front of you, or one leg out in front of you. Just do what's available for your body today. If it's too much, sit out of pose and wait for the next one. Inhale back to center, and we'll go in the other direction. Exhale. Inhale back to center. Now lift both arms, hands in line with shoulders. If it's available to you, see if you can lift up your biggest finger, not the index finger. Okay? And keeping that, bring your hands together. Elbows in line with hands. Exhale out. Inhale back to center. Elbows in line with the heel of your hands. Moving with your breath. Notice all sensations in your body, places of discomfort, places of warmth, perhaps of soreness, of stiffness. Maybe you're finding the breathing a little tricky. Inviting everything to be there and allowing it to be there. Knowing, as we know well in this practice, what we resist persists. And release your hands. stretching your right leg out in front of you. I have the left leg stretched out. If it's available to you, keep your other knee bent and keep a space between the sole of your foot and the inner thigh of the other leg. Now if you have blocks or books, it's a good time to use them. You can use the blocks to place your hands either side of your outstretched leg, or just simply place your hands on the floor. So pressing with your sit bones into the floor, stretch up, exhale, hinge forward and creep your hands forward, gaze beyond your toes. Inhale, stretching your upper torso forward, exhale, sinking down, moving with the breath. Using our breath to keep us focused, to keep us centered, present in our practice. Using the sensations in the body, the feel of your body as it touches the ground, where your heel is on the floor, or your fingers. Notice the air around the skin of your body. Inhale back to center and bend that knee in and stretch the other leg out, or both legs can be stretched out if you wish. Turn out over your leg, your outstretched leg, and we always inhale and expand and exhale and turning in, folding forward. Inhale, stretch up, exhale, creeping your fingers forward, gaze beyond your toes. Inhale, stretch forward, exhale, sinking down, turning in. Engage your outstretched leg, your quad. Push through your heel, turn your toes up towards the ceiling. Inhale back to center and swap legs again. Stretch the other leg out and curl the left knee in. And this time, I just need to clear space for myself here. What you're going to do is stretch your right leg out in front of you and bring your right knee across on top of your left thigh. Could be that your ankle is a little bit uncomfortable, so you might want to pad it out, put a jumper or a cushion or something. And then press through your outstretched leg, push your heel away, draw your toes back, place your hands by your hips, press your sit bones into the floor, sit tall, make both feet active. If it's too much for you above your knee, what you can do is slide your ankle down towards your right ankle down towards your left ankle. So what suits you today? And opening the senses even more. Notice what sounds are around you. Those nearest you, perhaps as subtle as the beating of your heart. And the sound most far away. And follow that sound into your ears. Without engaging in the story. And switch legs. Stretch your right leg out, curl your left, bend your left knee and place your ankle on top of your right thigh. And again, sitting tall, pressing your sit bones into the floor, hands by your hips, stretch the sides of your body long, broaden across your collarbones, push through your heel, Draw your toes back and turn to your breath once more. And though your eyes may be closed, notice what's available for you with your sight. Without engaging in the story, just noticing. And come back to centre and make your way into child's pose. So come onto your hands and knees, and in this, all we're simply looking for is for our heels to be together. Your knees can be as wide apart as you wish or as close as you like, and heels together and with the toes turned under in this case. So there's my toes turned under. Stretch your arms out and invite your head to come towards the floor. If your head doesn't meet the floor, you can always place a block or a cushion underneath like so. And then come up onto the tops of your hands, tops of your fingers, and sinking deep into your heels. Turn to your breath. And if your toes are turned under, notice the sensations in your toes. Sinking deeper towards your hips. And then we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees, and then floating our shoulders over our wrists, we're going to just stretch our legs out behind. I'm still on my knees. And then exhale back into child's pose again. Inhale, float your shoulders forward over your wrists, lift your head, look up. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. It should feel lovely on your lower back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Twice more. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Last one. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And now staying in child's pose, lift your right arm across your body, turn your palm up, bring your right shoulder to the floor, the right side of your face to the floor. If it's not available, put a cushion under your face or put a block under your face. Press the back of your right hand arm into the floor, and then walk your left hand back towards your right arm so that your left elbow is pointed towards the ceiling. Just sinking your hips towards your feet. And drop into that place of observing your breath, witnessing yourself on the mat observing your breath. And then make your way back to centre and take your left forearm, bring it across the front of your body, lower your left shoulder to the floor, the left side of your face to the floor, and then pressing the heel of your right hand into the floor, walk it back towards your right wrist, your left wrist, and look out from under your under your right hand arm. And now make your way to standing. Press down with 4 corners of both feet into the floor, squeeze your shins in, engage your quads, notice your tailbone and invite you to come towards the floor. Stretch the sides of your body long, broaden across your collarbones, stretch your arms down, stretch your fingers down, gaze straight ahead, stand tall, place your hands on your hips, separate your feet slightly inner hip width apart, bend your knees, inhale, stretch up, squeeze your elbows back, exhale, hinge forward, keeping your hands on your hips, knees bent. And just look, allow your head to drop. Take 3 breaths. Allow your hands to drop to the floor. If your hands can't reach your blocks, can't reach the floor, place your hands on blocks or on books. Line up your fingernails with your toenails. Allow your head to drop. Look back between your legs. Keeping a slight bend in your knees. Just ever so slightly press the backs of your knees away from you. Float your hips over your ankles. Notice the sensations in your hamstrings. Place your hands on your hips, squeeze your elbows back, lift your shoulders slightly, look out ahead. And you're just hanging out here, knees bent. Make sure the knees are bent. Turn your sit bones up. Inhale, press down, stand up. Take 3 breaths. Standing tall. Inhale your arms up. Exhaling. Arms, wrists in line with shoulders. Squeeze your shins in. Engage your core. Root down equally with all 4 points of both feet into the floor. Lower your arms, place them on your hips. Exhale, squeeze your elbows back. Inhale, bend your knees, lean forward. Knees bent. Just come halfway down. Lower hands to the floor, line up fingernails with toenails, hands on the outside of feet. Allow your head to drop, look back between your legs, press the backs of your knees away from you, float your hips a little bit forward, return to your breath. Place your hands on your hips, squeeze your elbows back behind you, come up halfway. Inhale, press down, stand up. Moving into tree pose. Shift your weight onto your left foot. Lift your right foot. And this may be as far as you go today. Place your foot against your ankle against your foot. Or your inner thigh, or your inner shin, or inner thigh, whatever's available for you. Bring your hands together as if in prayer in front of you. Root down with your standing foot into the floor. Engage the quad of the standing leg. Square your hips, your shoulders towards the front of the mat. Move your right knee out to the side. Stand tall. Move your ears back. If you find yourself in a place of unbalance, you could stand against the wall and do it. And release and switch to the other leg. Shift your weight onto your right foot and again place your foot where it feels comfortable for you today. Press your foot into your leg into your foot, and finding your place of balance. And gently release. Moving into crescent pose. Inhale your arms up and bring your palms together. If this is too hard on your shoulders, just place your hands on your hips, so yogi's choice. Reaching up, move your hips to the right, your torso to the left, be as sideways as possible. And again, you can do it like this. Press down equally with both feet into the floor, squeeze your shins in, engage your core. Press your tailbone down, draw your lower ribs back, lift your chin out of your chest, tighten your glutes, they're the big muscles in your bum, and as you do that, just see you get a little bit more in that lovely crescent to the side. Inhale back up and switch to the other side. Inhale back to center. And loosen your arms to your sides, come back into mountain, close your eyes, turn in. Drop into the only you there is. Most perfect specimen of you that there is. make your way to the back of your mat and step your right foot forward. Lower your hands to the floor, lower your knee to the floor, your left knee. Place your hands either side of your front foot. Your front shin is vertical, your front thigh is parallel, your knee is over your ankle. Line up your fingernails with your toenails, lift your head, look up. Press the top of your back foot into the floor, flare your toes. Move your left hand out towards the left hand side of your mat or even off your mat, and then place your right hand on your hip, roll your right shoulder back, your right ribs back, and look up towards the ceiling. Keeping your front shin vertical, your knee over your ankle. Your knee should not be over your toes. Lower your hand to the floor and switch feet. Front foot back, back foot forward. Place your right hand on the floor. Place both hands on the floor. Line up your fingernails with your toenails. Gaze out in front. Then move your hand out to the right hand side of the mat, place your left hand on your hip, roll your left ribs back, your left shoulder back, look up. And release and step your foot back. And moving into down dog for the first time today, walk your hands forward one hand pace, walk your knees back, turn your toes under and lift your knees off the floor, lift your hips off the floor. Parallel your index fingers, separate your fingers as wide as you can. Externally rotate your upper arms, that's turning the soft fleshy biceps of your arms towards the front of the mat, that bit there, towards the short end of your mat. Keeping all that, lift your hips even higher and invite your heels to come towards the floor. Engage your quads, soften your heart and look at a point beyond your thumbs. If you like, you can bring your dog for a walk by bending one knee deeply, exhaling, and pushing into the opposite leg, and just feeling what that feels like. It's nice to get a little bit of movement. And if you get tired, just come down onto your hands and knees, take a rest and go back up. And if it's too much for you, you can put your hands on a chair, put your hands on the base of the chair if it's too much for your wrists at this point. And come to a place of stillness. Come onto your hands and knees and come and sit with your legs out in front of you. Place your hands by your hips. Press down with your hands into the floor, sit tall. Push through your heels, squeeze your inner shins, your inner thighs, engage your core. And now bend your knees and sit with your hip on your right hand hip. If it's available to you, bisect the sole of your right foot with the top of your left foot. It's not always available to folks and can make you feel very unbalanced. Sometimes you might want to prop a block underneath you to stop you from falling over. Place your right hand on your left knee. Place your left hand behind you. Sit tall, press down with your sit bones into the floor. Look over your front shoulder, which is kind of counterintuitive. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, looking. Keep drawing that left shoulder back, the left ribs back. And again, focusing for a moment on your internal organs and moving that internal mass from right to left. And switch to the other side. Shift your feet to the left, sitting on your left hip. So shift feet to the right, sitting on your left hip. Place your left hand on the opposite knee, which would be your right hip, right knee, and place your right hand behind you. Sometimes I lean on a block when the hand is behind me because somehow it seems a little bit longer. And then draw your right shoulder back, your right ribs back, and look over your front shoulder. Again, sitting tall, and again, initiating the twist from low down in the abdominal area, moving from left to right. And make your way to lying on your back. Bend your knees, place your heels in front of your hips. Feet hip width apart. Bend your elbows. Point the tips of your fingers towards the ceiling, elbows on the floor, either side of your body. And keep that. Press down with your elbows into the floor, your head into the floor, and lift your hips high. Just check that your feet are not pointing away from each other. Line up your feet with the root of your second toe. Pressing down with your feet, your heels into the floor. Press your head into the floor, lift your chin out of your chest, and walk your arms and your shoulders towards each other. Engage your core. Tighten your glutes, stretch your knees away from you, and keep lifting your hips up. If it's too much, just come down and then go back up or stay down. And gently come down vertebrae by vertebrae, just feel how good that feels. And then stretch your left leg out on the floor, curl your right knee in and hug it in. don't forget to remind yourself to breathe. Just suppose you'd be inclined to hold your breath in. And gently release and stretch the right leg out and curl your left knee in and hold that in. Push through the heel of the outstretched leg, press the back of the right thigh into the floor, press your lower back into the floor. And gently release. Place both feet on the floor, heels in front of hips. Lift your right foot and place the outside edge of it on top of your left knee. Stay here, more doable, more difficult. Lift your left foot off the floor, bring your knee to your chest. Make both feet active, shins parallel to ceiling. Press your lower back into the floor. Release that foot to the floor and switch to the other side. Lift your left foot, bring the outside edge of your left foot on top of your right knee. And then bring your right knee into your chest. Slip your hands between your legs, make both feet active. By pushing your heels away, drawing your toes towards you. Gently release both feet to the floor. Walk your feet out toward the long edges of the mat. Feet, heels in front of hips, feet hip width apart. And allow your knees to come down to the right hand side in double diamond. And then make goalposts of your arms. So placing your hands behind you, turn your palms up towards the ceiling. And then looking away from your knees, inhale, lift your head off the floor, look away from your knees, place it back on the floor again. Inhale back to centre and switch to the other side. Look away from your knees by lifting your head off the floor. Inhale back to centre. Bring both knees into your chest and give yourself the most delicious, kindly, loving, gentle hug, and noticing how your body feels now. And it's time to get ready for relaxation. So stretch arms out, stretch legs out, turn palms up, arms by your sides, and maybe take a nice deep breath in and sigh it out, making your exhalation slightly longer than your inhalation. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. Welcome everything that's there, but not engaging with any stories. deepen your breathing. Start to awaken your body by moving your hands, your feet. Perhaps give yourself a stretch. And in your own time, you might like to bend your knees, roll to one side, and make your way to sitting. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart, close your eyes, turn in one last time. To honour ourselves, each other, and the practice, we close with one Om. Exhale, inhale, Om. Thanks for practicing, thanks for coming to practice. See you on the mat. And if you like this practice, do give me a subscribe or share.